Ladies and gentlemen, Chandler.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back. It's great to be here with you again. Unfortunately, once again, I'm here to ask a favor of you.
Thank you.
It seems a lot of people have forgotten who we are and what we've been doing for the past year and why. We came together about this time last year because a lot of our hired representatives had forgotten what their job was, why we hired them, and what we paid them for. They were passing legislation, legally binding legislation we would have to pay for the rest of our lives without reading it. And when we tried to confront them about the basics of a client-employee relationship, they turned on us and tried to discredit and ridicule us. We need to remind them and everybody who's forgotten what we are, who we are, and why we are. When you pay an attorney to represent you in a legally binding situation, and he doesn't question whether the solution he is pushing has been tried before, whether it has ever worked before, whether it has consistently made the situation worse every time it is done, he is not doing his job and he is ripping you off. God help any of us if we did this to our employer. If they put us in charge of a multi-million-dollar purchase and we ended up with something that wasn't what it was supposed to be, that was going to cost them more and not do the job because we didn't bother to read what the contract was before we signed it and made it legally binding. Everybody in this country got hurt every time our legislators did this to us, and when we stood up to exercise our civil right to peaceably assemble and petition them for a redress of grievances, they attempted to intimidate us by labeling us everything from Nazis to racists. I am black. Surprise! That doesn't hurt me, but for everybody else here in these hard economic times, if you are labeled a racist, if you are associated with a group identified as racist by so many of the powerful leaders of our community, opinion makers, and celebrities who branded us everything from racist criminals to Nazis, all the things they call us, it hurts you. It hurts your ability to get a new job. It hurts your ability to run a business. It hurts your ability to be employed. Yet millions of good Americans stood up all last year and took that risk because they knew they were trying to do the right thing that had to be done. It is our civic responsibility to hold our representatives responsible when they screw up. Last year. Don't understand what we're angry about. Somebody is lying. We're not stupid. They're not stupid. They're wasting our time. So we've got to do more than just demonstrate and protest. And we've got to remind everybody who asks what we all went through the past year. Now, we have people who are trying to run for office, who are willing to be identified and affiliated with terrible people like us. And they are in need of our help. They are going against the established political machines with all their money and resources, with next to nothing but, for the most part, what people like us will volunteer and give them. There are tables behind us where you can go and sign up and give people your contact information, and they will get back in touch with you and give you an idea what you can do to help. From going door to door, getting petition signatures to get somebody on the ballot, to giving out campaign literature so people will turn out and vote for the candidates who are putting it all on the line for us, to raising funds. You can't go do a lot of walking and stuff. You can help from home on your personal computer. It can be as simple as calling in on a cell phone to talk radio shows to let people be up to date accurately on what's happening and where they can help out. A lot of us are offering free training on how to do this work effectively. You want to attend a few shops and learn how to train other people to do what the candidates need. That can be your contribution. Virtually whatever level you can help out at, you are needed, and you can make a serious contribution to changing this country and preserving our rights and freedom with about as much effort, if not less, than it took for you to be here today. Thank God for those who put our system together so it is so easy for everyday people like us to have the impact we can and should have. Now, there's other stuff I had planned to say, but my time is running short and I know how I am. There's a man named Carl Palladino who recently got in trouble for gas, probably on the par with what Vice President Biden has become famous for making. President Biden has been elected by our current president to run the country. If something happens to the president, Carl Palladino has done nothing worse than our vice president. A lot of people in office have been given a pass for doing right. I saw what Carl Palladino forwarded, and it is not as bad as the notorious waitress sandwiches that Teddy Kennedy was famous for. If you don't know what a waitress sandwich is, well, I can't tell you in front of all these kids. But it involves two large men and a helpless woman. What I want you to get from what I'm saying here is that the same people who spent the last year lying on you about being waitress now want us to trust without verifying when they condemn a man like Carl Palladino, who, to the best of my research, has a long history of taking out his own money and offering scholarships to minority kids and not making a big deal of it. He has a long history of standing and fighting for better inner city schools for all the kids in these inner city schools. He seems to be a much better candidate than those who are slandering all of us would lead us to believe.